Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today, we've got the announcement of the first core set going into the next series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Core sets, which is very, very exciting because it'll probably most likely kick off a new series of, I guess, lore. Lore is probably the best way to put it. As far as the most recent series, we've started with like the Dogmatica Albaz lore. We've worked all the way through that. We've still been getting like support for those different archetypes, as well as pretty much halfway through this series, we also started working into the Visas Starfrost lore as well. In fact, the core set prior to this new one that just got announced, Cyberstorm Access, actually got a new archetype revealed that also has to do with the Visas Starfrost lore. So I would expect them to start anew here, which is exciting. It definitely is. It always is. Konami's pretty good at this kind of stuff. I think they do a really good job with like the lore archetypes and different archetypes that weave in together with one central story, which is really cool. But yeah, DUELIST NEXUS. This is the this is the new OCG core set. There's really not too much other information here. I mean, I guess it's coming out in the OCG April. Which, for us, this would be around the time we're going to get Cyberstorm Access, which means we won't get this one until a couple months later. We'll get reveals for this in a couple months as well, probably 2 months-ish. 2 to 3 months, we'll probably start getting reveals here. We still have like another month of Cyberstorm Access reveals before we even need to worry about moving on to another core set. But, yeah, it's just exciting. I want to get this news out there to start it because, one, I think a lot of people just aren't even aware that, like, Cyberstorm Access is the final core set for the current series we're in before we move on to another one. People thought potentially at Jump Festa we could see a new Master Rule change, something like that. Nothing was changed, and honestly, I don't know if we need to. When we got Master Rule 4 and we were in the Link era, it really felt like something needed to change once we got to the end of that. If you weren't playing a Link deck, you weren't playing a deck at all for the most part, just because like Exceeds and Synchros and Fusions just like really, really struggled to function under Master Rule 4 in a lot of scenarios. Just unnecessarily really is what it felt like. It's just like, why? Why does this restriction just kill so many different decks? And from playing a way that they have played and should be able to play for the most part, which is kind of a bummer. But I'm glad they changed it, and no Master Rule change here. But still, I just think as the new series goes, I mean, look at the last new series set, by the way, because it is a banger. Rise of the Duelist was the Series 11 first core set. That's the series we're moving away from into Series 12, which, by the way, featured Dogmatica as an archetype, little bit meta-relevant. Infernoble Knights, a little bit meta-relevant. I know these aren't necessarily relevant for the purposes of talking about like the lore, because Infernoble Knights aren't part of like the Dogmatica lore, but still, Malphys came out here, and then like bang, like maybe just because, and I think there's an element of this where just Konami is like, yeah, new series, let's start it off with a banger. So we got like Tactics in this set, we got, I believe, Forbidden Droplet, and what was it? Ice Dragon's Prison is in here, and I think there's another spell card. If I'm not mistaken. Am I going crazy? I thought there was like one other like crazy spell card, but Droplet, Tactics, Ice Dragon's Prison, Nadir's Servant, right? The rest of the Dogmatica cards. I mean, that's honestly good enough to me. But yeah, I mean, like crazy good generic cards, like an amazing new archetypes to start off that became meta relevant immediately. Just an example here. Also, I believe Rise of the Duelists also ended up being the third set of the year when this set came out. And I believe, as far as I'm talking about TCG, and as far as this new set, Duelist Nexus goes, this set will be our third set of the year. So kind of in that same slot, getting closer to holiday season, ramping, into the new year or into the new season after like Worlds and not Worlds, but nationals and stuff for a lot of countries. Boom, crazy new set. We just saw Power of the Elements, like right in that slot, that third slot. Konami likes to go crazy, so I would not be surprised if this set ends up being wild. But obviously, I will keep you updated on that. Again, don't expect reveals for another couple months, but yeah. So yeah, just get excited. I want to know what your guys' thoughts. Obviously, for core sets, the names are so generic a lot of the time that like they don't give a lot. I mean, I guess you could argue like Darkwing Blast was very obviously going to be Blackwing support. Power of the Elements was Elemental Hero support. So sometimes they do give a little information, but Duelist Nexus, I'm not entirely sure about. That could kind of go a couple different ways. But let me know your thoughts there, what you'd want to see, what you're kind of hoping for the new series. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the new one. Keep you posted. Thanks for watching. Peace.